All right. So letting your hips melt down towards your heels. And starting with just some gentle, easy breath, just bringing awareness to the breath. So noticing the rise and fall of the chest, noticing the weight on the forehead. Maybe you can push a little more weight into the palms, maybe a little more weight into the tops of the feet and the heels. And then with your next exhale, I want you to pull your belly button in as close to the spine as you can. Really suck the belly in. Notice the length that creates in the low back, and maybe you can reach your fingertips a little bit farther forward. And then hold that belly into the low back, into the spine. As you inhale, nice and big, full breath in through the nose. Open the mouth and let it go. And take 2 more breaths here through the nose, really pulling that low belly up and in, and lengthening through the spine, tailbone melting towards the earth. So we say this a lot in our practice, to pull the belly in or to lengthen the tailbone. And until you kind of feel your way into it, it doesn't mean a whole lot, right? So I invite you in this child's pose to really see what that feels like by grounding the pelvic floor down towards the heels. And this is a really good position to feel like, have I let my belly go? Because it starts to hang out over the top of your pants, and that's wretched. I don't care how skinny you are, it's going to happen in this pose. All right, and that engagement is where we create not only length in the back, but stability in the body, control in the breath. So as you move through the different shapes that we make this evening, really see if you can connect to that low belly lift. Pressing into the hands, coming into tabletop position, hands and knees. And just take a few gentle cat and cow. So as you inhale, keep that belly pulling in, but press the belly towards the floor. So I'm still engaging through those ab muscles. Exhale, pull it all the way in, round through the spine, press to the tops of the hands, tops of the feet, and then reverse it. Inhale, belly sinks towards the mat. Exhale, round the spine. One more time, inhale, belly sinks, stretching through the front body, maybe the chin lifts. Exhale, round the spine, find your Halloween cat. And then we'll move into a little bit of rocking child, just because it would feel really good after sitting at a desk all day. I'm with you. So you're going to inhale, come forward. Your hips are going to drop down to the ground, and you're going to be gently lifting through the upper body. It may feel really good to bend your knees and keep them wide so that your feet are lifting. And then you're just going to exhale, roll all the way back into your child's pose. Inhale, keep your nose close to the mat as you roll forward. Draw the heart up. Exhale, round the spine. Find that Halloween cat back into your child's pose. Good. 3 more just like that. Inhale, you roll forward. Nose is close to the ground, so you're really stretching through the upper back. Exhale, round through the back. Child's pose. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, roll back. One more time. Inhale, come forward. All those people eating pizza are like, what are they doing over there? Exhale back into your child's pose. And just notice the difference in this child's pose after even a little bit of movement. Maybe you can sink a little lower, your heart touching the mat this time. Maybe there's more length. Inhale back into your tabletop position. We'll move through spinal balance. As you extend your right heel, your left arm is going to reach towards the front of the mat. See if you can bring your left arm, those bugs are killing me, in line with your left ear. Gaze is just in front of the fingertips, so it's a neutral neck. You're not craning your head up or letting it sag down. How much space can you create between the fingertips and the toes? And then as you exhale, crunch and tap, elbow taps the knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. This time, grab the knee or the shin. See if you can draw it all the way up till it touches the forehead for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, lengthen it out. Awkward airplane. Left hand to the left, toes to the right. And then set your toes down. Walk over to the left hand. Right hand lifts to the sky, finding a gate pose to the side of your mat. Really pressing down through the sole of that right foot and lengthening through the right fingertips. Inhale up, shoulders stacking over that left knee, and left hand over across towards the garage, towards the right side, finding a side body stretch here. Back into your gate pose just for a moment, maybe this time lifting the right toes and finding a little bit more balance here. Option, find the bind, take a bend in that right knee, reach back for the foot or the ankle. If you bind, your heart is spinning up to the sky. Gently release the bind if you've taken it. Tap the toes down, walk back into your tabletop position. Ooh, dirt and bugs everywhere. Inhale, left leg extends out long behind you. Right hand comes forward. Just starting with the spinal balance. So this is a great opportunity to work on pulling that belly in. So you're engaging the core by lifting right below the belly button up into the spine. That's going to press your low back up a little bit so you're not dropping and drooping. And then you can find a little bit more length, and you'll notice your balance stabilizes. As you exhale, tap, elbow meets the knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, tap. Inhale, extend. Exhale, tap. This time hold, grab the knee or the shin. Maybe you can draw it all the way to the forehead for 3, 2, 1. Extend out long. Awkward airplane, right hand to the right, left toes to the left. Feel the lift. Try not to drop the heel for 3, 2, 1. Then the heel can drop down. Right hand comes to the side by your mat. Left arm up and over. Find that gate pose. So the first one's just a really yummy stretch. Don't overthink it. What feels good? Then as you inhale, lift up and over that left leg, finding your side body stretch on the right side. Same thing here, right? Where does it feel really good? Looking up or down, maybe roll a little bit more. Get a nice juicy spot. Then float the right hand back to the floor. This time left toes will lift up for a little bit more balance work. Option to find that Chapasana bind. I think it's Chapasana, can't remember the Sanskrit now. Your left knee bends, grab the top of the left foot, and then start to spiral the heart open to the sky. Gently release the bind if you've taken it. Left toes tap down. Walk your hands back to the front of the mat. Meet me in high plank position once you get the dirt off of your hands. Okay. I almost bought a leaf blower today, and then I decided I could sweep, and then I didn't do either. So sorry about that. Oh, hi. You stuck in. Hello. Holding high plank. I didn't forget you're here. I'm just trying to distract you. So in this high plank, see if you can pull that belly up and in again. Seeing a little bit more in the protracted shoulders. So you're arching or rounding through the top of the shoulders, but my low back is level, right? I'm not drooping my hips low or piking my hips high. They're in a nice straight line. Holding here for 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way to the mat, finding your forearms down, moving into Sphinx pose just for a moment to get a nice easy stretch in that low back and the upper shoulders. So if your low back is bothering you, you don't want to move into full up dog or cobra, this is a nice option. Good night, princess. My daughter's in full-on princess. She's been waiting to show you guys her dress like for the last 3 hours. Lord. Slowly lower forehead to the mat, full ears. Did she have her gloves on? I didn't even notice. Okay, the gloves are super extra. Tucking the toes, pressing all the way up into your upper push-ups, and find your way to your first stand up. Yeah, she's got matching green, like, prom, you know, like ball gown gloves. Oh yeah. And she's really excited, and I don't blame her. I remember I stole my sister's hoop skirt from a dress dress recital one time, and baby shark in my ear. And so she's been really enjoying, like, when she sits down on the floor and the dress like flows out around her, you know. Sure, it's super fun. And that kind of makes me want to have a hoop skirt, not gonna lie. Inhale, high on your toes, hop, step, or walk, top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale to a flat back as you lengthen the spine. Fold and exhale. Ground down through the feet. Inhale, rise all the way up. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands, heart center, Tadasana. Inhale, arms reach overhead again. Swan dive, fold forward. Belly coming in as you fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold and release. Step it back to your high plank. Lower through chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. 3 breaths right here. Noticing if you can work a little deeper into the hamstring stretch. Maybe it's the Achilles that you feel, or maybe you can lengthen the tailbone a little more towards the sky. Pull the belly in to create that length. Inhale, high on your toes. Look to the top of the mat. Hop or step, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands, heart center. This time taking chair pose. Toes touch, heels about 1 inch or 2 apart. As you inhale, arms reach overhead, sink the hips nice and low. And then just to see how low you can really get, can you graze your fingertips to the mat? Hold your hips where they are and lift the heart back up. Good. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Palm the mat, step or hop back, high plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right foot lifts 3 points. Shita, knee to chest. Inhale, 3 points. Keep pulling the belly to the spine, even here. Shita, knee to chest. This time hold for 3, 2, 1. Warrior 1. Step the right foot forward. Left heel is flat as you inhale, arms lift to the sky. Holding this first warrior 1 so you can really work into that stance. So I need to take a minute to look at where your left toes are pointing. You want them pointing to about 10, maybe 11 o'clock if you're super flexible on that back foot. And then once you've got that left pinky toe grounded, you can start to push a little bit more into that back heel to drive a little deeper into the bend in the right knee. So you don't want to just crash into the front leg and forget that the back leg is there to support you. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step it back, high plank, lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Last leg, 3 point. Belly in as you lift. Shita, knee to chest. Inhale, 3 points. Shita and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, warrior 1. Step the left foot up. Right heel is flat. Toes to 1 or 2 o'clock. Somewhere in that area. And really drive through that right heel, right pinky toe to sink low in the front leg. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step it back, high plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. 2 breaths right here. On your next inhale, look to the top of the mat. As you raise up on your toes, bend your knees, hop or step, top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Root down, chair pose. As you inhale, sweep the arms up, your hips are low. Stand Tadasana, top of the mat. Okay. The flies and the bugs are killing me. Inhale, chair pose. It's very distracting. Maybe they're eating me and leaving you alone. I'm hoping, anyway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Palm the mat, hop or step back, high plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Belly in, right leg lifts, 3 points. Keep the belly in tight. Shita, knee to chest. Inhale, 3 points. This time twist it, knee to left elbow, tap, and then lower the knee to the left wrist. Lift it, that's 5. Down, 4, down, 3, down, 2, down, 1. 3-point, lift it up, find that space. Cheetah back into the chest, hold for 3, 2, 1, warrior 1. Left heel down, inhale, arms lift. Open out, warrior 2. Holding this warrior 2 for a moment to really feel that engagement. So come back to your warrior 1. Just for a moment, I want to kind of work the difference between these two. So in your warrior 1, you're pulling back with the right leg and pushing forward with the left leg. That's why we want to really ground through that back left heel. When you move into your warrior 2, side piece of track, you're going to open the arms out and you're going to open the legs a little bit wider. So you still have to ground down through that back left knee, but you're working that inner right thigh up and out. So take your left right thumb and actually grab the inside of your right leg and see if you can pull that inside thigh muscle up to where your quad is and feel that rotation happen on that right leg. Do you feel the difference in that? Okay. So that's your warrior 2. So it's a really nice, juicy inner thigh stretch. Now pull the belly muscles up and into the spine. The tendency is for that belly to sag down low here. Really pull the belly in and see if you can draw the hips, squeeze the butt underneath you. So you're opening the inner thighs out, but you're pulling the belly in and drawing the butt down. Yeah. Now reach your right hand and your left hand as far away from each other as you can. So you're actively engaging through the upper body. And now your warrior 1 is kind of hard. Windmill hands to the mat. Step it back, high plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left side 3-point. Cheetah, knee to chest. Inhale, 3-point. Twist it, knee to right elbow. And you got 5 dips. Lower to the wrist and lift for 5. Dip, 4, dip, 3, dip, 2, dip, 1. Back to your 3-point. Take a moment. Cheetah, hold for 3, 2, 1. Warrior 1. Left foot is forward, right heel is down. Inhale, arms up. Really feel that left hip drawing back as you push the right hip forward. And then pull open and spread the hips wide. Warrior 2. Remember to pull that belly muscle up and in. And tuck the tailbone down. So you're really working those inner thighs and the abs and the glutes. All of it. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Windmill hands to the mat. Step it back, high plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Our neighborhood is awesome. Inhale, high on your toes. Look to the top of the mat. Forward fold as you hop or walk. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Root down for your chair pose. Heels can be about 1 inch apart. Keep the knees squeezing towards each other. Just like in our warrior 2, tuck the tailbone in, belly scooping up. And then stand Tadasana. Okay. We'll add on a little bit more. Do you guys feel the difference in your warrior 2? Yeah. It's very easy. If you let your belly sag, it's kind of like, yeah, I could do this all day, whatever. And then when you engage that, it's a whole new level, which is why we like to avoid doing it. Right? Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, chair pose. Sink the hips nice and low. This time we'll take a twist. So as you exhale, bring hands to heart center. Pull the belly in. Tuck the hips under. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist left elbow to the right knee. If that's too far, you can bring your elbow inside the knees and just get something you can push into. The idea is you're looking for some leverage, right? So whether that's all the way across or just catching the top of the left thigh. Once you find something to hook against, see if you can lengthen your tailbone, pull the belly in, and lengthen the crown of the head towards the front of the room. Okay. Inhale back to your chair pose. And then twist the other direction as you exhale. Right elbow comes to the left knee or to the top of the right thigh. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, belly squeezing in nice and tight so you can squeeze a little deeper into that twist. One more breath. Inhale, back to your chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Palm the mat, hopper step, high plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Warrior one, oh no, sorry. We're at 3-point, right side, right foot lift. Cheetah, knee to chest. Inhale to your 3-point. This time, knee to right elbow, mountain climber prep, and then slide to the right wrist. Lift for 5, slide it down. 4, 3, 2, 1, 3-point. Lots of chances to work that crunch in the belly, right? Cheetah, knee in. Hold here for 3, 2, 1, warrior one. Step it up. Open out, warrior 2. This time, reverse your warrior. Right hand lifts. That left hand is reaching towards the left heel. Wherever that is on your left leg is fine. But try not to crash weight into the left hand. Keep working that opening between the left leg and the right leg. Maybe even bend the right knee a little deeper for the last 3, 2, 1. Modified side angle, right elbow to the right knee. Inhale, reverse warrior, but this time straighten the right leg. Exhale, modified or full side angle, your choice. Elbow to knee or hand to the mat. Inhale, reverse your warrior and straighten. Modified or full side angle. Keep the belly lifting in even through this motion. Inhale, reverse your warrior, straighten the leg. Modified or full side angle, holding this time. So just like in our warrior 2, pull that low belly up and in. Tuck the right butt cheek underneath you as much as you can and ground through that left pinky toe. Notice if that creates more space, you can spiral your heart toward the sky a little bit more. Breathe for 3, 2, 1. Hand to the mat. Drop to your left knee. Find a half split stretch here. Right leg is going to straighten. Inhale, come forward to that low lunge. Just finding some space in the top of the left thigh, and then exhale back to your half split. Nothing fancy, just feeling our way into it. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half split. This time holding your half split. So you're going to frame your right foot, and just like I said before, the shapes have names, but the shapes look different for whoever's doing it. So if your half split looks more like 7 blocks on either side and trying not to fall, totally fine. Right? If your half split looks more like full split, you're doing good too. Right? But wherever you feel really, really juicy sensation that is, sensational, but tolerable. There's a balance between those two things. As you inhale, bend and set right knee, come into that low lunge, tuck your left toes, and step the right foot back, 3-point, right leg lifts to the sky. This time take a bend in that right knee, open the hip. Maybe even come down on the left forearm to get a little more space between the right knee and the right pinky. Keep working the right heel towards your left butt cheek as close as you can get it. Inhale back to your 3-point on both hands if you drop down. And then keep that right leg lifted as you shift forward to your high plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left side, 3-point. Cheetah, knee to chest. Inhale, 3-point. Left elbow, tap the elbow, slide it down, lift it 5, tap, 4, tap, 3, tap, 2, tap, 1, 3-point, lift it up. Cheetah, knee to chest. Feel the belly scoop in. Feel the shoulders protract. Spread between the shoulder blades. Step the left foot forward. Warrior 1. Inhale, you lift. Open out, warrior 2. Feel that inner thigh stretch. Grounding even weight through both feet. Belly pulling up and in. Reverse your warrior. You're lifting up more than you're reaching down. Belly coming in. Tailbone coming under. Modified side angle, left elbow to the left knee for the first one. Just to feel the space happen. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Straighten the left leg. Keep reaching up. Exhale, modified or full side angle, elbow to knee or hand to the mat. Belly is in the whole time. Reverse your warrior. Inhale. Side angle. Last one, inhale, reverse your warrior. Side angle, we're gonna hold this one. So find a place you can breathe, whether that's a modified with your elbow on your knee or full. Tuck the tailbone, feel the low belly lift, and tuck that left sit bone, left butt cheek underneath you as far as you can get it, like you're trying to hide your booty. And maybe you can open the heart to the sky a little bit more as you ground down through that right heel. Keep reaching space through both sides of the body. Feel a nice juicy stretch on the inner left thigh for 3, 2, 1. Hand to the mat. Frame that left foot. Drop the right knee. Find your half split stretch. Inhale, come forward to your low lunge. Just getting some blood flow back in the left leg. Exhale, half split. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half split. Holding this half split. Finding whatever variation feels really good to you. I'll say it again. I might have said it once before. Tuck your belly up into your spine. And let that length happen through the breath. Bending into that left knee, come back into your runner's lunge. Tuck your right toes. Left foot lifts 3 points. Take that bend in the left knee, open the hip, working the left heel to the right butt cheek, and your knee as high into the sky as you can get it. Maybe it would feel good to come down on the right forearm, and that just creates more space and more balance for me to twist open a little bit more. This feels really good, and I don't want to leave. Inhale back to your 3 points. Keep that left leg lifted for a little extra. In your chaturanga, shift forward on one leg, lower. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. As you inhale, come high on your toes. Look to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Exhale. Inhale to your chair pose. Finish it out. Stand Tadasana. Take your feet about mat width apart for a nice wide leg forward fold here. And we'll just find a nice easy fold. If it feels more comfortable to walk your toes in, whatever would feel really good to you. If you'd like to find a bind, there's lots of binds you can play with in this forward fold. So I want it to be restorative, but I want you to keep working that low belly lift and see if you can engage through the soles of the feet. So we're not gripping the mat with our toes. In fact, I want you to see if you can lift all 10 toes off of the mat and keep that fold happening as you set one toe down at a time. Like you're drumming your toes on the floor, impatiently waiting for this to be over. Notice the difference in the engagement in the feet and the length in the legs when you work the soles of the feet into the pose as well. Slowly walking your feet to about neutral position, about hips width apart. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold and release. Root down to the feet, rise, inhale. Exhale, hands, heart center, Tadasana. Good, how's your back feeling? Good? Cool. All right, we'll move a little bit more. We'll twist this time, and then we'll start to do some standing. So inhale, arms up overhead. Sink down into your chair pose. This time keeping an open arm twist. So I'm going to draw the right hand back, left hand forward, but I'm going to keep my heart open. Good. Then lower tap my left hand to the mat. Lift it up. Tap it down. Lift it up. Tap it down. Lift it up. I think that was 5. I lost count. Tap it down. Bring the weight into the right foot. Left foot is going to step straight back into a revolve side angle. Sneaky, sneaky. And then just like we did on our chair pose, I want you to put the weight in the feet, come up onto the left fingertips, and then lift through the right hand, stacking shoulders over hips. Oh yeah. Inhale, warrior one, left heel spins flat, right hand lifts to the sky. Open out, warrior two. Reverse your warrior, inhale. Side angle, right elbow to the knee or to the inside of the leg. Inhale, reverse your warrior, find a straight leg this time. Good. Keep the straight leg, triangle pose. So you're gonna move your upper body towards that side angle, but your legs are straight. So keep tucking the right tailbone, right butt cheek underneath you. Keep pulling the belly into the spine. And then from here, bend that right knee, find your side angle pose. From side angle, you're gonna lift into your half moon. So the weight's gonna all transfer to your right foot. Draw your right fingers a little bit farther forward and shift into a standing half moon. Upper body has not moved. Only difference is I'm on one leg now. Keep tucking the tailbone underneath you. Keep rolling the left arm towards the sky. Standing split, lower the left fingers to meet the floor and fold over that right leg, finding a nice juicy forward fold. We're gonna move into some standing split hops to get our heart rate up a little bit. So if you, some handstand hops. So if you don't have a handstand practice, that's totally fine. All you gotta do is try to get all 5 of your right toes off the floor, even for a second. So you're just gonna hop and lift the foot. That's all it has to be. If you can hop a little more, maybe you can work your feet towards a standing inversion. Cement is scary. Just do 3. And then back to your standing split. Lunge the left toes back. Right leg lift, 3-point. Bend that right knee. Option flip dog or wild thing, or just stay in that bent leg open. I'm gonna do a wild thing. So I'm gonna draw that right heel to the mat, onto the sole, the left pinky toe side of my left foot. Coming back into your 3-point if you weren't there right now. Right toes meet the left, rolling into side plank on the right side. Right side body is on the ground. The left arm is stacking and reaching to the sky. And then a little bit of crunch work here. Draw the left knee up and tap the left elbow. Inhale, extend, tap, extend, tap, extend, tap, extend, chaturanga, or meet me in downward facing dog. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, high on the toes. Hopper step, top of the mat, forward fold. That temperature dropped a lot. Is it gonna rain on us? Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Reach down to rise. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. Taking those chair twists again on the opposite side. So starting in your chair pose, inhale, arms up long overhead. Open the twist towards the street side, left side. So your arms are reaching apart from each other. And tap right fingers in front of the toes for 5. Lift it up. 4. Lift it up. 3. 2. And then 1 more, tap it down. This time stay down. Weight in the left foot, right foot steps long behind you. Finding your way to your revolve side angle. In your revolve side angle, keep pressing the left hip back, drawing the right hip forward, and maybe spin the heart a little higher to the sky. Good. Come up onto the right fingers, so the weight's gonna transfer to the feet, and then lift all the way to standing, stacking shoulders over the left, or the hips. And then warrior 1, right heel comes down, open the arms towards the front. Open out, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Side angle. Inhale, reverse your warrior, straighten the leg this time. Triangle pose as you shift left hand forward, hips draw backwards as you lengthen through both sides of the body. So it's just like our side angle. I'm tucking my tailbone under. I'm rooting down through that right heel so that I can create length through the right side of my body. Belly is scooping up and in so that my low back is protected and lengthening. Bend into the left knee, find your side angle, and then start to make a plan, right? We're moving into a balancing on the left foot. So I'm gonna reach my left fingers as far forward as I can, and I'm gonna start to shift the weight into that left foot. And I need a little hop, and that's totally fine. Eventually, you can find a place where your right foot just flips. You got to learn how to get the weight out of the toes first. So hopping is a great way to figure that out. Keep tucking the tailbone under, belly scooping up and in. Find as much length as you can here. And then standing split. Right hand comes down, fold over that left leg. Okay, so we're going to play with our hops again. I will tell you, the first time I ever tried to go upside down, I literally cried for 3 days. Because it's very, very confronting, right? Especially if you're a type A personality like me, or you just ate pizza, which I also just ate. So this is your opportunity to play. It doesn't have to be anything big, right? When was the last time you took both feet off the ground? Probably been a hot minute, right? So don't worry about what it looks like, but it's going to get your heart rate up and it's going to challenge you. So start by just working your hands to the ground. And maybe what you can do today is put a little weight in the hands and just lift the left heel. That in and of itself is where I stayed for about a year, right? Because my brain went, oh shit, I'm gonna die, right? Maybe once the heel comes up, you can start to look at, all right, I can pick up my toe for a second, right? And eventually you start to float the feet up into the sky. All right. Once you're done with that, back to your standing split. Lunge the right toes back, left leg lifts 3 points. Take that bend in the knee, open the hip, get the weight off the left foot. Option flip dog or wild thing, rolling into the pinky toe side of the right foot, and letting your leg fall behind you for a nice one-arm back bend. This feels really good. Back to your 3-point pose. Oh, now what? Oh yeah, side plank. Left foot comes down, coming onto the left side body, and lift the right hand, stacking right foot on top of the left. Feel the ground pressing away from you to engage as you lift the right toes and find your balance. And then from here, tap elbow to the knee for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back out. High plank, lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Oh boy, that pizza's coming back. Inhale, high on your toes. Exhale, look to the top of the mat and hop to the top. Find your forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Moving into Hindi squat. Take your feet mat width, maybe even a little wider. Maybe your toes turn out as you drop the heels, drop the hips. And if your heels want to come up, then lift your hips up so they can come back down. I'd rather your heels are grounded and your butt's a little higher than you're miserable trying to get your booty towards the ground. So I'm using my inner thighs against my elbows to really give me something to engage. But even here, my belly is scooping in, my tailbone's dropping down, right? So the more I can pull my belly in, the lower I can drop my hips. And right now it might just be in your head, like, oh, it feels lower, but somebody might not see it. That's okay. You can stay right here. If you'd like to play with your crow pose, you can move into that. Moving into a chaturanga placement with your hands. I like to come back a little bit to reset. It's really hard for me to lift out of my malasana. But I'm going to draw my elbows under my arms. Oh, sorry, my arms under my legs, just like we did when we tapped our elbow to our knee to our elbow. And then just like in our standing split hop, you're just going to play with the weight shifting forward and your heels coming up. Your arms are going to make a shelf for your knees to rest on, and maybe you can lift one foot. Maybe you can lift the other foot. Maybe you can lift both feet. But when both feet lift, I really have to pull my belly up and in to get that space. So I'm not just crashing 100 and some odd pounds. It's better than it used to be, but it's still a lot, into my wrist. One more time. Give it a try. If it would feel safer to put a block or a pillow or something under your forehead, play with that at home, right? If you're in your crow, this Nicole, maybe working your jump backs, gaze has to come farther forward to balance the weight of the hips. It's hard to do and talk. All right, we'll meet on our bellies. And getting a nice little shoulder break. Laying all the way down on your mat. Resting on your right ear. Arms by your sides. Take a nice big inhale through the nose. Open the mouth and sigh it out. One more breath, inhale through the nose. This time with a closed mouth, exhale through the nose. And switching your head to the other direction. So we're resting on the opposite ear, stretching out the neck a little bit, enjoying a nice moment of peace and rest. All right, we'll move into Shalabhasana. So bring your forehead to the mat. Your arms are along by your side. As you inhale, draw the shoulder blades back and together until they can touch. Maybe clasp hands together. As you exhale, lift a little bit higher, maybe toes lift off the mat, finding a balancing pose towards your hip bones, but your belly is still lifting up and in to protect the low back. Forehead can be on the ground if that feels good, or you can lift it up, but keep your neck neutral. Good. Breathe for 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower, resting on your right ear, and just take a moment here. Preparing for the second one, we'll do 3 in total. So if you want to move a little deeper, if you didn't find a bind, you want to play with it, your options are all there. Inhale, you start to draw the shoulders back and lift the toes. Exhale, move a little bit deeper. So every inhale creates more length, and every exhale creates more depth. And in this case, that's belly coming in and shoulders pulling back away from the ears. Beautiful, ladies. Breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower, resting on the left ear this time. Option to stay in that pose. Option to move deeper into bow or take a break. All your choices. I regularly will pass on the last of the back bends, especially late in the day. So just listening to what your body really wants. As you're ready, bring your forehead back to the mat, moving into your final variation, whether that's deeper, a little bit lighter. You've got 10 breaths here. So coming into it as you're ready, counting out your 10 breaths, and moving into what feels good in your body. What shape is the right shape for you today on this Thursday at 7:45 at night? When you finish your 10 count, making your way down onto your belly, resting. Whatever feels okay is what I'm going to tell you to do. They're both options. Most people usually grab the outside, but the inside is going to be a lot more intense on the shoulders. So. All right, taking your knees, windshield wipering the heels from side to side, and just resetting the low back, getting a little sway from left to right. And we'll come up into a downward facing dog as you are ready. Meeting me there. Take a sip of water if you need one. I've had 4 while you guys are doing back bends. So. All right. So we're going to move into a little more twisting to really work some of those poses we move through during our flow. So inhale that right leg to the sky. Step it forward, coming into warrior or crescent lunge. So stay high on the left toes as you inhale, arms up overhead. Very similar to a warrior one, but the difference is that right here, that left heel is lifted off the mat. So it's almost like you're going to spring into action. In this pose, see if you can draw the belly up and in, just like we said. Tendency is for it to hang down and touch the top of that right thigh. Pull it in. Maybe even bend the left knee so you can lift it a little bit more. And then we're going to flow here. So sweep the arms back behind you. Belly scoops in. Hover over that right leg. Inhale back to your crescent. Exhale, hover at heart. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, hover. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Twist it. Left hand stays down. Right hand to the sky. See if you can keep lifting and hovering the heart. The tendency is to crash in that left hand as soon as you put it there. But you're already holding your belly here. You don't need your hand. You just proved it. Now just twist. Lift it up into an open arm twist in your crescent lunge. And then grab the outside of the right hip or thigh and find a little bit of a twisted bind here, left hand to the sky. Bend the arms open, warrior two. Left heel comes down. Stay bent in that right front leg. One more breath. Inhale, straight leg, reverse your warrior. Triangle pose. We've been here before. Maybe option for a bind this time. We're going to hold it. If you'd like to find the left hand to the inside of the right thigh. If you want the full bind, you can start to drop that right shoulder underneath that right knee. And then once you find the hands, you'll just straighten the leg back out. Keep drawing the right hip under you and keep opening the heart. Yeah, there you go. So in this pose, try not to crash into that right hand. Can you lift up onto the right fingertips and lengthen the crown of the head a little bit more? Good. Left hand comes to the mat. Frame that right foot. Step the left foot up and out to about halfway up the mat. Widening your stance. You're taking up the full width of your mat. And then draw the right hip back, folding over the right toes for an intense leg stretch. So it's very similar to our half or our full split. Should feel a lot of the same sensations. You're just in a standing version. So even here, I'm drawing my belly in, and I'm tucking that right hip under so it doesn't sway way out to the side. That's going to create more length in the low back and a nice juicy stretch in the hamstring. From here, we'll twist it. So left hand to whatever you can get it comfortably to rest on, whether that's a mat or a block or a water bottle or whatever. Bring your right thumb to the inside of the right hip and push that right hip back as much as you can. Then lengthen the heart towards the front of the mat. Draw the right fingertips forward and see how much space you can put between your right thumb and your right hip. Now open up into your twist. Notice the difference when we come into this from a very open, lifted heart instead of like this collapsed folding thing. It just feels yucky. From here, revolve half moon. You're going to put all the weight into that left foot. Your upper body stays just like it is as you float left toes to the sky. Draw the left knee in behind the right. Take a little squat and sit all the way down onto the left butt cheek. Oh boy. Sneaky. Taking your left hand to the outside of the right knee, you can take a gentle twist like this, where you're just seated and lifting. If you have more space, you might hook that left elbow to the outside of the right knee, right? If you have a lot of space, you might start to find your bind, which I'm not going to do today. Also, I made a funny face at the camera. If you have to make squinty faces, you're probably not going to get into it today. That'd be me. All right, so little sneaky things. We're going to spin to the left into our plank pose. So you're going to face towards the back of the mat. Find your plank pose. And downward facing dog. Option chaturanga. If you feel like you could use a couple more push-ups, you go for it. Stepping left foot forward into that crescent lunge. We're just facing the other direction. If you've been sweating all over your mat like I have, your right foot is slipping right now. And that's okay. Inhale, crescent lunge, heart lifts to the sky. We're going to hold this for a few breaths. So it doesn't have to be your biggest, fullest one right at the start. Pull the belly muscles up and in, stacking your right heel over your right toes. Tuck your tailbone down towards the left heel. And then we'll hover the heart, sweep the arms back. Good. Inhale, lift it up. That's 5. Exhale, hover. Inhale, lift. 4. Hover. 3. 2. 1. Hover it this time. Hold for 5. Reach the arms as far back as you can. 4. Heart as far forward as you can. 3. 2, let the legs shake. That's good for them. 1, don't crash into it. Right hand, fingertips only to the mat. Left hand to the sky. Twist towards the left. Don't crash in that right hand. Keep the weight in the feet. Keep the lift in the belly for 4. 3, you got this. 2, that was for me. 1, open arm twist, lift through that left hand, rise, stack the shoulders. Find the bind, open the heart a little bit deeper. Good, and then warrior 2, open it out. Don't quit on that left leg yet, let it shake. Inhale, reverse warrior, straight the left leg. Oh man, there it is, feels so good. Triangle pose, lengthen and fold over that left front leg. Option hand is to the inside or the outside of the foot, whatever feels good to you. Wherever you can feel that belly lift, that tailbone tuck. If you'd like to find the bind, you'll bring your right hand behind you, maybe catch the inside of the left thigh. The point of the bind is to help you twist the shoulders open deeper. So if the bind makes you collapse, it's not worth it. Taking about 2 more breaths here. How much length can you create? Good. Right hand releases to the mat. Frame that left foot. Step the foot on the right side up and out. Mat width apart, really taking up space, shortening the space between the heels. And then you'll fold over that left leg, finding your intense leg stretch. So we shorten the stance so that you can really ground through that right heel. That grounding action is what's going to allow your body to twist. So when we twist this in just a minute, that twisting action starts in the right heel and it ends in the left fingers. So if my right heel is kind of floating, my twist won't feel very good. So shorten that stance as much as you need to feel really strong contact with the mat and that right foot. And then we'll twist it. So right hand is going to stay down and your left arm is going to bring your left thumb to the inside of the left thigh, right of the hip crease, and push that hip back as much as you can. Let that open the heart before anything else happens. And then draw your left fingers forward so you create as much space as you can between that left hip and the left thumb. Then the hand can float to the sky and your gaze can follow it. And it's just the icing on the cake. So the twist is happening from the legs and the core and not from the neck and the shoulders. Floating into our revolved half moon. So I'm going to look at my left toes just so I can see what's happening. And I'm going to step my right fingers forward a little bit to float my right toes behind me. And then once I find that balance, I'll readjust and open back into that twist a little deeper. Draw the left knee and the right knee together, finding a little curtsy squat here, coming all the way down onto the right knee, finding your way into that seated twist. All right, option, you can just wrap your arm around the leg and feel a nice stretch here and a gentle twist. If you want more twisting action, maybe elbow to the outside of the left knee and your hand pressing into the mat behind you to keep the spine nice and tall. There's a bind here if you like it or you want it, where your right hand is going to come in between the legs. Yep, there's my funny face again, can't do it today. And your left arm is going to come behind you, maybe grab a hold of it. It's a lot on the shoulders. It's too much on my wrist after painting all weekend. So I'm going to just hang out right here. All right. Slowly unwind this twist. Rolling all the way down onto your back. There's some final little relaxation and stretches before we take our nap. So drawing your knees into your chest, give them a squeeze. And you can take either happy baby or shoulder stand, whatever feels really good for you. So happy baby, you're going to draw your knees towards your armpits by grabbing a hold of the soles of the feet. It's also called dead bug, which I think is a much more vivid picture of what's happening right here. Especially if your hips and back are really tight. It's kind of like, why would anyone do this? If you want your shoulder stand, you'll start to walk your elbows underneath you until they're almost touching, and you can place your hip bones on your wrists or your palms, and then you'll start to lift the feet so the weight is actually on my shoulders, on the back of my arms, and the back of my head. There's no weight in my neck.
If you're in shoulder stand and you want to take plow, you'll take the toes and draw them long overhead until they tap the floor. If your toes tap the floor, you can let go of the low back and reach the fingertips long. If your toes are not on the floor, please keep your hands on your back to support it. But even here, I'm pressing the tops of my arms into the floor to collect that weight. From plow, you can move into Deaf Man's pose, bend the knees by the ears, and crunch up into a nice little ball. Wherever you are, rolling all the way back down onto your back. Legs extend out long. We'll take one fish pose just to balance that out because I think everybody did something upside down. So bringing the palms of your hands to the mat and walking your palms right under your tailbone. So your thumbs are touching under your booty. And then see if you can walk your elbows to touch, more or less. Once you've got everything wrapped underneath you, then you'll press into the forearms and lift the chest, the head spills down. It's called fish pose. So there's no weight on my head. It's all in my forearms. This is just a nice opener across the front of the heart. Gently releasing back down. Walking your hands out nice and wide. Any last movements that would feel really good for you. If you'd like to take another twist on your back and just reset. We'll make our way into Shavasana. So get all the fidgets out, swat away the flies. And we'll rest. Palms spinning open to the sky. Hands by your side. Letting your feet fall open. Take an inhale through the nose. Open the mouth and let it go. Shavasana. Peaceful stillness and rest that you have earned after 60 minutes of moving, a day of working and parenting and being an adult. Slowly starting to bring some movement back into the body. Wiggling the fingers and the toes, the wrists and the ankles. Drawing your knees into your chest and giving them a squeeze. And rolling side to side, forward and back until you can come to a seated position, facing each other towards the center. Hands in your lap, palms open, eyes closed. So the practice of yoga gives us an opportunity to not only understand what our body is doing in any given moment, but to catch what our mind does. When the going gets tough, when our muscles start shaking, when the flies get really annoying, right, where does your mind go? Do you go to the complaining, the whining, the repetitive story of, oh my gosh, this is happening, this is going on? Or can you find a way through it that creates a little more ease? Can you stay engaged in those moments of discomfort? In that practice, the more we're able to do that on this mat, the more we're able to do that when we're confronted with real problems, right? Because at the end of the day, whether I can bind my hands behind my back without making a goofy face is probably not the most important thing that I had to do today. But the opportunity to practice that sensation, that awareness, that presence, that engagement teaches my mind how to handle it in other situations. So when you go home and you tell your husband or your spouse or your kids about the really cool thing you figured out how you knew how to do, look at this cool party trick, right? That's great, but remember what you're really learning, and that's learning your potential. It's learning how to stay connected to that potential at all times. Bring your hands together at heart center. The light in me sees and honors the light inside each and every one of you. Namaste.